welcome to Season 2 of Ramcast. I am your lovely main host, Savannah, and we have new members this year, so I'm very excited. So we have Landry, Alex, Casey, and these are our lovely Scholar Bowl guests for this week. If you guys don't mind, you would, share your names and your roles, if you have any.
I'm Samuel Buesking.
I'm Jackson Mills.
I'm Traven Elliot.
And this is the Ramcast, Season 2. So, we did also want to mention one other member of AV because he's had an amazing job so far, and we just barely started. So, drum roll. Landon! You are our AV member of the month. Landon is our AV member of the month, and he's very dedicated, and we're glad to have you here, Landon. And you just started this year, so pat yourself on the back. You're doing great, buddy. So we're going to go on to our normal programming. But why did you guys join Scholar Bowl?
I'll start first. Well, I've always been an honor roll kind of student, getting straight A's, maybe some B's throughout my grade school life, so I was like, at least there's Scholar Bowl in high school. I did really well in grade school. St. Mary's got second place in the state at one of those tournaments, and that was even whenever our Scholar Bowl teacher left us with a parent as a coach. So I was like, well, I might as well continue our legacy, and I've been in Scholar Bowl every single year of high school, and for this year, we won our first game in like 3 years. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
All right, I'll go next. So I actually grew up at a school in Wayne County called Jasper Grade School, just outside of Fairfield, Illinois. But we had a Scholar Bowl team there at the middle school level, and I was there since 6th grade. And no, actually, I did from 5th grade. Now I think about it. But I've always been intrigued in the sport. It was always something I enjoyed, and the people are always generally nice. And the best part is I love being in the game. I love answering questions. It's something I enjoy, but being out of the game, it's always some of the most fun people you'll ever meet. We always have some of the most crazy conversations, and that's probably one of the best parts about it for me, just the people you meet through it. But that's my take.
Got nothing to say?
I was just real good at it in grade school.
All right. I mean, hey, it's fair. So we'll go on to our next couple ones. Did anybody down here at this table have any questions?
I think it was all pretty self-explanatory what the information they gave us.
Yeah, but there might be some more questions relating to some other stuff that we've kind of spoken about or thought about, but we never really have asked or said.
Yeah. Well, do the questions get harder every match, or?
Not necessarily. The harder questions are really about the topics that you don't understand the most. Typically, one or two people will have some kind of specialty, like I'm a good math person, Jackson's a good history person, so the rest of the team will typically leave it to us to answer those types of questions. There are obviously some that are more jack of all trades, like that guy over there, but yeah, typically you're kind of reserved in your own role, and whenever that subject comes on, you're kind of known to know it.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. It really just depends on who's answering the question on if it gets harder, because the questions never really, I don't think they ever get harder. They just defer a bit more, and then sometimes the match focuses in on something you like, sometimes it deviates, so it really just depends on person to person on who you ask. But no, they don't really get harder. They just ask different questions. That's the best way I could put it.
Any more down here on this table? I mean, we've probably got a couple of questions written down on a sheet of paper somewhere here. But is there anything that's kind of coming to mind, or is there anything that you're kind of thinking of for the first time?
What is the difference between the JV and varsity teams?
The main difference is grade level. Typically freshmen and sophomore are on the JV, while juniors and seniors are on varsity, but the questions also differ a little bit. Junior varsity are a little more on the nose, while varsity make you think a little bit to figure out what the prompter really wants you to say is the answer.
Yeah, Certainly, I know I just mentioned like it differs on person to person whether it gets harder, but I do believe there is just a slight gap, maybe not anything huge or too awfully noticeable, but there's certainly a minor gap on between difficulty between the JV and varsity level. And I know usually you'll see kind of like you'll see much smaller teams as the varsity goes along because it gets to that experience point. Because I believe it's like you'll get on varsity when you get. Luckily, if you get through sophomore, but usually it's like just juniors and seniors, and by then you're getting some people who are realizing, no, I don't know if I want to keep doing Scholar Bowl because there's these other 4 things I want to focus on, or if I want to do these things, or if maybe it's just not for me. But you'll usually see smaller teams for varsity, but that's really the main difference. Like there's a minor difficulty in question that you'll see, and you'll also see just maybe less players on it, but nothing really too different, if I want to say. I mean, no, I wouldn't say too much different.
So I had a question. How do the matches actually work?
It's a little like, the best way I could describe it is kind of like Family Feud, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's 20 toss-up questions. These are like your baseline, what is 2 + 2, for example? What's the capital of Illinois? Those kind of questions. Then everybody buzzes in if they want to know the answer. The first person to buzz guesses. If they get it right, their team goes on to the bonus round. If they don't, then the other team gets a chance to score. Only one person can buzz in per team.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the round, their team gets the bonus. This is a
Like a
quick
3-part question.
It's a 3-part question. Each is worth the same amount of points as a toss-up. And for this, unlike in the toss-up where everybody had to think for themselves, the bonuses allow the entire team to confer with each other and decide an answer.
Yeah, there is no talking during a toss-up, but it's allowed during a bonus.
And typically the bonuses are easier than the toss-ups as a reward for getting a harder question.
Yeah.
Anything down there? Because I know, Alex, you had a couple in your mind here and there. I know you wrote down a couple.
Got any for 'em?
Who are the Scholar Bowl coaches?
So our varsity Scholar Bowl coach, the main one, is Mr. Edwards. He teaches Spanish here at the school, and he's a really awesome coach. He really great with practices because we have our main practices that occur on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we can go to those. But we also have practice sets that go throughout the whole week, and they just get in week by week, and it's kind of like a Scholar Bowl match you can research on, so you can better know questions that are coming ahead. So that's the varsity, and then our junior varsity coach is Miss Clody. She's what is she at the school again? I never paid attention.
She's like one of those special ed teachers.
Special ed teachers, yeah. Yeah. So she's one of our special education officers, and or teachers, whatever you want to put it as. But I remember being in junior varsity with her. She was great too, and those toss-up things like for that Mr. Edwards puts out is not just for the varsity; it's for the whole team. So junior varsity will get those too, and we'll answer those questions. But those are our coaches for both teams, and we can go to. They have 2 different practices. Both of them hold their different practices on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but you can go to either one. You don't have to be a junior varsity to go to the junior varsity, and you don't have to be a varsity to go to the junior varsity.
So I'm trying to find the right wording. Scholar Bowl is almost kind of like a sport. Is it treated that way, however?
Ooh. Well, at other schools it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've noticed that whenever I went to varsity games, while we have maybe 5 or 6 people there, everybody else has maybe 10, 15, even 20.
Yeah. I mean, it really, to determine if it's a sport, like, it just depends on person to person, like who views it. Like me personally, I view it as a sport. Like, it's competitive, it's challenging. There's a challenge to overcome. There's opponents that you go against, and there's a constant challenge. So yeah, I do believe it's a sport, but to see it as recognized, I mean, it just depends. I mean, certainly, I think it has all the qualifications to be a sport, but I mean, if it's recognized, I couldn't tell you. But.
I mean, there is one question that's just been digging in my mind of lately.
Yeah.
So do I get a cool hat when I join?
No, but what you do get a cool shirt, which I'm not wearing right now.
It's kind of
but
like
yes.
kind of like this, but with
little like that, but with
Scholar
like broken
Bowl.
up letters, MVTHS
Yeah.
Scholar Bowl 22 to
We
23.
use the same logo.
Yeah.
So, speaking of joining, for people who may say be 8th graders and they're going to become freshmen next year, how do they join? Or how does just anybody join?
Yeah, I mean, to join, like, honestly, it's been so long since my freshman year that I can't even remember, like, I just remember, see, now it's just, I go to Mr. Edwards and I go, hey, when are we getting t-shirts? And he's like, oh, yeah, here you go. So I don't really, like, see, like, a join up thing. I just go, hey, hey, when do I have to pay for the t-shirt? But I think,
With the freshmen, it's if you go to him, you get a sheet, and if you sign it, and then you got to bring him in $15 for a T-shirt,
Yeah.
and then if you get it in by the due date, guess you're on the team.
hey, you're good.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I remember.
So it's pretty much just talk with Mr. Edwards or Mrs. Edwards. Their classrooms are literally right next to each other, or Miss Clody. Any of them, if you want to join the team, you can just go talk with any of them. They'll get you a sheet when the time comes for it, and you'll be on the team. It's a real fun experience.
So, I know that you guys kind of have like seasons and such. How do your seasons work? Like, do they go from, January to March, or?
The bulk of our games happens in the first semester, so late September to I'd say about early mid-December, and then second semester is when things slow down a bit.
Certainly.
There's maybe 1 or 2 varsity games, maybe 1 or 2 junior varsity, but then whenever March and April come around, that's when we do our kind of tournament with all the other schools, and that pretty much marks the end of our season. So
Yeah.
I'd say it's about 1.5 semesters long.
Yeah, so you usually see that 1.5 semesters long, you'll go through that, and then you have a minor break, and then you'll go to, we have a big game at the end that we hold for the grade school teams that play. But
Yeah.
that's usually just that's about it.
Well, I have a question that's not as important as the last one, but how do you train?
Really practice. That's
Yeah.
about it.
So-
Just
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, we had those kind of like small scale, no, not even small scale, like you get more questions, but like kind of like a online game you'll play just with yourself. So you'll have 22 questions, or is it 22?
24.
24, no, 22, no, 21 you have to get right.
24. 21 you have to get right.
Yeah,
yes.
it's like, so you'll have 24 questions and you'll have a week to get 21 of them right. Now, it's usually beneficial if you try to get all of them right or as close as you can before you have to look up, but I know certainly like there are questions you're not gonna know, so you'll usually go through 1, maybe 2 attempts, and then you'll get some online aid to try and help you, or you'll get someone else to help you, but you'll get those questions that come in weekly, that's how you train, and then you'll have your practices that you have Tuesday and Wednesday.
And one quick question before we go on to our next thing. How was your guys' season?
How is it, or how?
How is it?
I mean, I think it's going better, certainly.
Yeah, well, we won a game. That's a good start.
It's certainly, but I mean, I think we definitely have potential this year.
Junior varsity's killing it this year.
Oh yeah, like, they're great.
I believe they almost sweep the last tournament that we
I
ran.
believe so. Like, it was almost
It's like 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah. Like,
Just a quick question. How many people in the full team?
let's see.
Oh, junior varsity's pretty big this year.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe like around 13, 15 students.
Yeah, I'd put it around there too.
So now we're gonna go on to the very fun part. We over here at the Ramcast AV Club have designed a little mini Scholar Bowl tournament, and because you said it was kind of like Family Feud, I am Steve Harvey officially.
Okay, I think
Somebody
you
go
need,
get me some paper with like some black paper. I'll make me a
Welcome back.
mustache.
You might need to shave your head real quick.
We'll get her a ball
I'll
cap.
die before I do that.
You're not Steve Harvey.
I'll just do this for the rest of the game.
Give me
Take my
mustache
hair, I'll
fix.
just, there we go, perfect. So welcome everybody to the first ever Ramcast Scholar Bowl tournament, woo!
Yeah.
So, how this is, okay, I'm put this down because it's getting stuck in my mouth. So, how this is gonna work is we don't have buzzers or anything, we didn't really have the budget for it, I wish we did.
Wait, we have a budget?
I wish. Wilson doesn't pay me for nothing. So, how we're gonna do it is the first person to slap their hand on the desk, don't try and break your hand. Just kind of go, just so I hear the noise. Like, first noise I hear is how I'm gonna try and do it. So, for example, all right, Casey, your turn. All right, Scholar Boys, let's go.
Sounds like a bad boy band.
Bad boy. So,
They sing, but they also got good grades.
so, we all clear with the rules?
Perfect.
All right, so, first question. This scientist formulated the principle for inertia. Alex.
Is it Thomas Edison?
Our buzzer has sounded no. Scholar Boys?
I guess we do have a buzzer.
Nikola Tesla.
It's wrong. I think they're gonna roll it down soon. Isaac Newton.
Oh, I
Because
should have
of,
known that.
yeah, 3 laws of...
I like his cookies.
I haven't
but
watched that
still.
stuff.
So, next question. In its climax, a pumpkin and a hat are spotted after a school teacher escapes from the headless horseman in this story.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah! 1 point for Scholar Boys. Alright, so this man sold flamethrowers from...
I get to be the buzzer now.
Okay, this man sold flamethrowers from his website of his boring company. Alex?
Is it? Oh crap! What's that guy who's trying to get into space?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yeah!
Yes.
1-1.
Yeah! Is there, how many questions is there? Buzzer?
11.
Alright.
Well, let's ask the buzzer.
Yeah, well, he's the ultimate
what,
buzzer.
He apparently knows.
So, this is Mr. Golson's favorite candy.
What are nerds?
Wrong.
Kit Kats?
Correct!
2-1.
This city's metropolitan area includes
Yoklahoma?
Yokohama.
Yokohama.
Oh,
I have a buzz. I could do
Yokohama.
more than
Okay,
just buzz.
I'll redo this. This city's metropolitan area includes Yokohama.
Tokyo.
3-1. Name this French founder of Impressionist movement who painted water lilies.
Oh, jeez.
That was close.
I don't know. That's it.
It was
Scotland.
How come
I'd
that's
say, that's what I
scissors?
was saying.
Okay.
Claude.
Claude.
All right.
Say that again for the
Claude
judges.
Moret. Claude Moret.
Claude Monet.
Quad. What?
Monet.
Monet.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that, okay.
I was like, I knew it.
Major- Okay.
4-1.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Name this father of... Excuse me?
Okay. Repeat the question. All hands up. All
Yeah.
right. Gotta finish the question before beginning.
Okay.
Name this father of Fenrir, I think, a Norse trickster god.
Loki.
Didn't point. Okay. I
think they
guess.
got it first the first
Yeah, we'll
time.
give it
Okay.
to him, sure.
So,
Hey, you got the score?
yeah.
4-2? Okay.
Number 8. This one's really good. Who are you gonna call? Ooh, that outside help.
They're saying
That was
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
I thought it was Heinz mustard. Dang it.
What was the first camera ever called? Casey.
The camera obscura.
Good job. Number 10. This video codec in the standard when uploading and sharing video files.
MP4.
Nope.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Alex?
IQ4?
No.
Dang it.
Anybody want to take a guess, or do we want to skip it?
H24?
H264.
H2.
Oh, You got it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a hand.
Yeah, but I didn't hear a hand.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
H264.
no point.
Last
No
point.
And just MP4 is a container, not a codec.
Right.
So, no point is awarded. 5-8.
Wait,
What?
what?
No
What?
point is awarded?
5'8"?
5'8".
5-3. Sorry. I
Make it.
Which adds up to 8!
Hey!
That's what I was doing. All right, to number 11, the final one. This show is currently sponsored by.
Brick.
You are correct.
Dang it! I thought it was Raid Shadow Legends.
Woo, Brick.
Okay. So we got Brick here, everybody. You want one, you can get one, okay? Listen. They are $5.99 on the Brick website right now. There is no number to call anymore. We just the building it got
We forgot
described
to pay our
somehow.
phone bill.
Somebody kept using the Brick on the Brick community. That's just what happened. Brick Inc. Incorporated is not responsible for injuries.
Brick.
I don't even
Brick.
Thank you, Brick.
I don't even know.
Yeah. I need to pay my taxes.
Wait, you guys pay your taxes?
Haven't done that in years.
So, this has been the first episode of season 2 of the Ramcast. I'm super excited. We're all super excited, and I can't wait for you guys to meet everybody. Thank you to our lovely guests. You guys were amazing. You guys did awesome. So we'll go down the lineup again, kind of do a last exit, I guess, introduction, and then we'll be going. So we'll start.
Landry O'Neill.
Alexander Burke.
Casey.
Savannah White.
Samuel Buesking.
Jackson Mills.
Traven Elliot.
Wait,
And
you don't have
this
a last name.
has been the
I
Ramcast.
understand it though.